Good afternoon. My name's Richard Lowe. I've been working in real estate and finance for the last 12 years, and I'm going to take you through why Berlin is still one of Europe's best cities for real estate investment. So if you have a few minutes, I'm going to really give a quick snapshot of why you should consider Berlin as a possible place for your investment portfolio. Let's first of all start off with the German economy. As we know, the German economy is the largest in Europe, and Berlin sits as the capital city of the strongest economy within Europe. You'll see various pieces of data reinforcing how the economy has been performing in recent years. So I'll let those of you who would like to look at those details do so in their own time. So why invest into real estate in Germany? Well, first of all, interest rates are extremely low, and accessing financing and getting access to cheap debt in Germany is extremely attractive. We've been able to get clients with mortgages as low as 1.3%, and we found it extremely easy to get mortgages between 2 to 2.9% for fixed rates from anywhere from 10, 15 and sometimes up to 20 years. The other opportunity that we have at the moment is an extremely weak euro. In fact, when we compare the euro to the US dollar in recent weeks, there's been a swing of almost 15% stronger buying power in the US dollar to the euro, and that's similar with many other hard currencies around the globe. So mortgages in Germany, compared with many other countries, it is a far smoother and more straightforward process. With the company I've been presently working with, we've had 100% success in securing mortgages. Moreover, we can actually get the mortgage before signing a sales and purchase agreement, which gives the buyer the peace of mind that they know that they can get their financing before legally being bound to buy the property. The bullet points toward the end, where you see key notes on this slide, basically shows that there are very attractive loan-to-value rates. Interest rates are locked in, so there's no subject to change. Proof of equity is required before notarization. Notarization refers to the signing of the sales and purchase agreement. Typically in Germany, you need to show proof of funds, whether that be in cash or other liquid assets such as stocks and shares, of 40% of the purchase price. And I think this is very prudent because it ensures that somebody going into this purchase can actually afford to buy the property. The mortgages are very friendly from an age perspective. You can get mortgages up to 90 years old. And as I said before, interest rates between 2 to 2.9% for 10 to 15 years fixed rate have been very, very simple and easy compared with other countries to be able to get. If you wish to get lower interest rates, there are opportunities to get as low as 1.3%, but this typically will require you to have a bank account opened by yourself in Germany, and there are other additional forms of red tape that you'd need to go through. In Germany, when we look at it being from a tax efficiency point of view, it is incredibly tax efficient. Basically, when we look at the three different kinds of taxes, at entry we have stamp duty. Ongoing, as we own the property, there is income tax, and on the exit there is typically a capital gains tax. So in Germany, if there is a bitter pill to swallow, it is the entry level of the stamp duty may be similar or higher than other certain countries. However, when it comes to owning the property, most of your expenses incurred in the property can be offset from your income, and as long as you don't have any other forms of income in Germany, typically we find that at least for the first 4 or 5 years that your income tax can be zero, and even after that very, very negligible. Now, if you are interested to hold your property for 10 years or more, there is a significant gain whereby the capital gains is no longer required to be paid, so you can realize 100% of your profits. So when we look at all three of these taxes and we look at a big picture, The overall tax efficiency in Germany is very, very attractive compared with other countries where you will be paying capital gains tax and potentially some significant income tax along the way. So why invest into the Berlin property market? Looking at the macro aspects of what drives the real estate market, supply and demand. And when we look at Berlin, it basically has a major lack of apartments. And this has been estimated that Berlin requires 87,000 apartments in order to overcome the shortfall. It's been estimated that if they could build 20,000 apartments every single year, it would take them to 2030 to be able to overcome this shortfall. The challenge is that they've never been able to achieve 20,000 apartments in recent years. The other area is population growth, which creates demand. As you have more and more people migrating to a city, they need to live somewhere, which is creating greater and greater demand. Berlin has experienced hundreds of thousands of people relocating to the city, primarily because of the job opportunities. We can see in the second bullet point here that unemployment has gone from 12.3% in 2009 to 7.8% in 2019. And this is because over 250,000 jobs have been created, many of which have been in the tech and media and creative industries. On this slide, we even highlight one of the major creative hubs called MediaSpree, which is creating thousands of jobs just on either side of the River Spree in the heart of Berlin. Other areas such as Europa City are other major regeneration and employment nodes in the center of Berlin. Berlin enjoys one of the best public transportation networks anywhere in the world, and this allows great connectivity and speed and access to get around the city. It's also meant that it is one of the cities with the lowest car ownerships per capita anywhere in the world. It's also a major student city. In fact, Berlin has the most students of any city in Germany, with over 185,000. Students then put a great deal of pressure on property, particularly in the rental segment of the market. One of the additional attractions that many people have not necessarily heard of is that Germany provides free education for students, and that even applies to foreign students. So it's also one of the youngest cities in Europe, and now enjoying some of the highest graduate salaries anywhere across the country. So when we look at Berlin capital values, in the first box we'll see towards the bottom of it Berlin, and we can see from 2015 to 2018 there has been double-digit capital growth year on year. In fact, it has remained the same even in more recent years. When we look at the bar chart at the bottom, we can see the average price per square meter of prime central real estate in these particular cities. We can see Hong Kong at one extreme end at 44,700 euros per square meter in its prime area. Here in Singapore, it's at 15,300. But when we look at Berlin, it is just 9,600, a fraction of the cost of many other major cities across the world, and demonstrates that there is still significant value and potential growth within the city. Here we have some data from PwC that creates various reports with regards the ability to grow and the investment prospects for real estate in various cities. Berlin was ranked number 1 4 years in a row for overall real estate investment prospects. It's recently gone to number 2, but still continues to show extreme value in terms of its overall viability for investment across cities in Europe. So really, in summary, these are some of the key takeaway points and food for thought if you are considering to grow your investment portfolio and looking at Berlin as a possible part of how to grow that wealth. So first of all, Berlin has had massive population growth and has major undersupply of real estate properties, and is estimated that it needs over 87,000 units to recover its shortfall. Real estate prices are a fraction of other major cities around the globe. Vacancy rates are now as low as 1.1% because of the major shortfall and huge population growth. Year-on-year capital growth has been over 10% per annum in recent years and doesn't look like it's slowing down. When we look at the return on capital employed of between 250 to 340% when taking a 70% loan to value, shows over a 10-year period great returns can be had. And when we annualize those returns, we're looking at between 25 to 34% ROI per annum. Property in Germany is freehold. There's no capital gains tax after 10 years. Income tax can be zero or very negligible due to expenses being offset from the income. Free education is available even for foreign students. There are over 185,000 students and one of the most popular cities in the world to study in. There is a smooth and easy mortgage application process with fixed interest rates of 10 to 15 years at 2 to 2.9% interest rates, and lower if you're willing to travel to Germany and go through some additional processing. And PwC continues to rate Berlin as one of the best cities in Europe for real estate investment prospects. So there's a very quick snapshot of why Germany, and in this case Berlin, presents a very strong and compelling investment case. So for anybody who's interested to know more details, I'd be more than happy to address any questions and look forward to hearing from you in the near future. Thank you.